Hey there, pilots! This is Dauntless Sam, and today we'll be looking at the history of the Kawasaki Ki-10 and its flight characteristics in War Thunder. The Kawasaki Ki-10 Army Type 95 fighter was the last biplane fighter used by the Imperial Japanese Army, entering service in 1935. Built by Kawasaki for the Imperial Japanese Army, it saw combat service in Manchukuo and in North China during the early stages of the Second Sino-Japanese War. Its reporting name given by the Allies was Perry. The Kawasaki Ki-10 Perry was the best biplane fighter to serve with the Imperial Japanese Army, and was a highly maneuverable aircraft that had a big influence on the design of later monoplane fighters. The Ki-10 was designed in an attempt to produce a Japanese fighter equal to the British Hawker Fury or American Boeing P-26A Peashooter. Kawasaki's first design, the Ki-5 inverted gull-winged monoplane, was rejected in 1934 because it was not maneuverable enough. The Army then ordered Kawasaki to produce a high-performance biplane, while Nakajima designed a monoplane, the Nakajima Ki-11. The Ki-10 was designed by Teiko Do. He produced a clear biplane with wings of unequal span and powered by an 850 horsepower Kawasaki HA92A V19 liquid-cooled engine, which drove a two-blade wooden propeller. The first prototype was completed in March 1935, and the second in April. The new aircraft was faster and more maneuverable than the Ki-5, and more maneuverable but slower than the Ki-11 monoplane. In an attempt to increase speed, the third prototype used a metal three-bladed propeller, while flush head rivets were used in an attempt to reduce drag. The fourth prototype was similar, but with an increased dihedral on the upper wing to improve stability. These changes closed the speed gap, and the Ki-10's maneuverability ensured that Kawasaki was awarded with a production contract for the Ki-10 as the Army Type 95 Fighter Model 1. The Ki-10-1 and the Ki-10-2 were used in combat during the Nomahan incident and in the Second Sino-Japanese War, where their great maneuverability made them popular with their pilots. The same pilots would go on to demand the same level of maneuverability from their newer monoplane fighters, resulting in aircraft that won a series of outstanding victories against the second-line Allied aircraft that they faced in 1941 to 1942, but that they were very vulnerable when facing more modern opposition. The Ki-10 was deployed in Manchuria and in the initial campaigns of the Second Sino-Japanese War in northern China. It proved an excellent dogfighter against the Chinese Air Force, including those active at the Battle of Wuhan. However, by the time of the Nomahan incident in 1939 against the forces of Soviet Russia, it was largely obsolete. At the beginning of the Pacific War, the Ki-10 was retired to training and secondary missions, but later returned to frontline service, performing short-range patrol and reconnaissance missions in Japan proper and China in January through February 1942. In War Thunder, there are three reserve versions of the Ki-10: the Ki-10 Mark I, the Ki-10 Mark 1C, and the Ki-10 Mark II. Also, a fourth Ki-10 is placed as a Rank 1 aircraft, the Ki-10 Mark II-C. All four of these aircraft have the same flight characteristics. They have a maximum speed of 244 miles per hour, which is only 1 mile an hour slower than the British Hawker Fury Mark II and Nimrod Mark I, and a climb rate of 3,082 feet per minute. Each of these four aircraft are equipped with two 7.7mm Type 89 machine guns with 900 rounds. It will not take very long to run through this ammunition, so be sure to manage your fire carefully so you don't unexpectedly run out of rounds. None of these reserve planes can be loaded with secondary weapons. When flying out with these aircraft, be sure to remember your maneuverability. The Japanese reserve aircraft are the most maneuverable in the game. Force opponents low to the ground and engage them in a turn fight. You should be able to outturn almost any aircraft you engage. As with all biplanes, it is important to remember that you have no armor and a low max speed. The pilot of the Ki-10 is very much exposed, and be sure never to allow an enemy aircraft a clear shot at your cockpit. Always be on the lookout for opponents trying to boom and zoom you. I hope that this information has proved helpful. If you liked the video, please do like the video. If you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and if you think anyone else would be interested in this video, don't be afraid to share it. This is Dauntless Sam, thanks for watching.